And ain't gonna change, so.
We just stand on loyalty, you know what I mean? We stand on real deal loyalty. And, you know, sometimes that shit ain't displayed. And this ain't got nothing to do with no label, no paperwork, no QC, no nothing. This got something to do with the three brothers. And shit, that is what it is. Right now, we gonna be the duo till time tell.
The only time to tell, but, you know, we always family now. Ain't nothing gonna change.
Cardi B just shook the entire internet and things are spinning out of control fast. What started as some light shade about album sales has now turned into one of the messiest showdowns in recent rap history. Saweetie thought she was being slick by throwing jabs at Cardi's numbers, basically saying that even with all the promo, Cardi's new album still couldn't top Nicki Minaj's. And she didn't stop there. Saweetie made it loud and clear that she was fully Team Nicki, throwing even more shade at Cardi by standing behind her longtime rival, like it was a battle line drawn in glitter. That one move? Oh, it lit a whole firestorm. But Cardi didn't come back with just a regular response. She came back with nuclear heat. She didn't hold back at all, threatening to drop a tape so wild it could flip the entire industry on its head. Word on the street is Cardi's claiming that Saweetie got a little too close to Offset, her man, and that there's actual footage backing it up. People are stunned. Timelines are flooded, and fans don't know who to believe. This ain't just rap drama anymore. It's personal, it's messy, and it's spilling out for the entire world to see. Allegiances are being tested, friendships are getting icy, and the fan bases, they're going to war in the comments. Just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, boom, Nicki Minaj jumps right into the fire. She's now publicly standing beside Saweetie in the middle of all this chaos, and it's only making the drama explode even more. The girlies are going at it heavy, and this one's turning into an all-out storm with no umbrella in sight. So here's the tea. Saweetie went full-on, that's my best friend mode with Nicki, hyping her up and throwing shade at Cardi B at the same time. That move? Oh, it turned up the heat instantly. Saweetie might have thought she was just picking sides, but she walked right into grown folk mess and now she's neck deep in it. And let's not ignore the part that really has the streets talking, the whispers about Saweetie and Offset. People been saying they were real close while he was still locked into his marriage. And while nothing was ever confirmed back then, and Cardi even brushed it off like it was just another messy rumor, things are different now. With Saweetie linking arms with Nicki and tossing shade at Cardi online, it seems like Cardi is finally done holding her tongue. And let's not forget, Offset hasn't exactly been quiet either. He's been real extra during the divorce talks, stirring up even more chaos and tension around Cardi when she's already dealing with enough, especially while expecting a baby. Now, Cardi's clearly reaching her limit. Who usually stays in her own lane and minds her business, decided to step in on the wrong day at the wrong time. But Saweetie had everybody shook when she pulled a sneaky move on Instagram, a quick post and delete that sent the internet into a frenzy. She uploaded a photo of a man who looked a lot like Offset, and fans instantly lost it. Some tried to say it was an old pic of her and Quavo, but let's be real, that man looked way too much like Offset for it to be a coincidence. And just to add fuel to the fire, she captioned it, "Fight Night." Excuse me. The shade was not subtle at all. She deleted it shortly after. But baby, the damage was already done, especially since she posted it right as Cardi B and Nicki Minaj were going back and forth on Twitter. It looked way too intentional. Cardi clearly peeped the sneak diss because she fired off shots almost immediately. She came swinging with, "You must have missed me. How crazy. Now kiss my feet." Whew, she wasn't playing. Then she turned it up by retweeting a fan who wrote, "Tell her make a hit. She in the studio, just wasting time." And that was definitely a dig at Saweetie's music not hitting the way it used to. But it gets even spicier. According to insiders, Cardi's ready to come clean about what she's been hinting at for a while. That Saweetie and Offset's little situationship might be the real reason the Migos broke up. And that's major, because for so long, Cardi was brushing those rumors off like they were just noise.
Not me, y'all. This is mad. I'm taking a shot. That was sinister legend shit, man.
I'm gonna say Nicki.
Yeah, see, I was gonna say the same thing though. That's crazy.
So you said Nicki.
Yeah.
So being that y'all agree, that's a shot. They gotta take a shot.
No doubt, Nori. But now, she's cracking the door open. Fans already had suspicions way back when things started falling apart with Migos. Offset tried to keep things low-key, but Quavo, he was throwing shade every chance he got. Now let's talk about the mess that went down behind the scenes and how Takeoff ended up caught in the middle of it all. He was clearly stuck in the crossfire, trying to stay loyal without getting dragged into the drama that was swallowing up everyone around him. In one interview with Quavo and Takeoff, Quavo took some clear jabs at Offset, not even trying to be subtle about it. But Takeoff, he kept it cool. In that same sit-down, he spoke calmly and didn't add fuel to the fire. You could tell he was still showing respect to Offset, even though the tension was thick in the room. Takeoff was clearly riding with Quavo, but he wasn't about to go all in on the beef. He was trying to hold things together while everything was falling apart. R.I.P. to Takeoff. He was that calm energy in the middle of a wild storm. Fans picked up on it too. When the Migos officially split, people had plenty of theories. Some blamed Offset wanting to leave quality control, others thought it was about money. But then Quavo shut all that down and said it wasn't about contracts, it was about loyalty. And that one word, loyalty, had fans connecting the dots real quick. That's when folks started believing those Offset and Saweetie rumors might have been real all along. Things got even messier when Cardi was going back and forth with bloggers like Sleaze Mirage, and boom, that alleged affair got dragged back into the spotlight again. Sleaze Mirage claimed that Offset had a thing with Saweetie and came with the heat saying, "Do you really want to discuss husbands?" Cardi wasn't having it. She clapped back fast, calling it all lies. "No, baby, you lying. You making up crazy lies, starting stuff, and dragging women's names with no receipts. Now look, say what you want about Cardi B and her roller coaster marriage with Offset. But one thing nobody can take away from her is how hard she tried to keep that relationship solid. She was out here doing damage control, holding it down and trying to protect her household. But even the strongest grip couldn't keep Offset's rumored affair with Saweetie buried forever, especially after Quavo spoke on it himself in a song. Yup. In his track with Takeoff titled Messy, Quavo had everybody's ears ringing when he rapped, "My dog behind my back, but I ain't stressing. You wanted the gang, you should have said it. We would have blessed it." Whoa, that line had folks gasping. And if there was ever any doubt who he was talking about, the video doubled down with a recreation of that elevator incident with Saweetie. It was not subtle at all. Even though Cardi didn't publicly respond after that, the streets were buzzing with talk that she got her lick back, quietly. Let's not forget, Cardi B has a long rep for not letting stuff slide when it comes to women linked to Offset. She's known to handle business when she feels disrespected, and it's nearly cost her major trouble more than once. Y'all remember the drama with Jade and her sister, right? Cardi was accused of sending people to handle them over Offset stepping out, and that situation nearly had her in court. Then there was the online war with Cuban Doll, another woman rumored to be tied to Offset. It's a pattern fans started to see real clear. And according to insiders, Saweetie ended up in that same messy web. Word is, Cardi allegedly tried to get Saweetie blackballed behind the scenes, pushing to block bags, shut doors, and cut off opportunities. This whole mess didn't just pop up overnight. It actually started simmering way back in 2022. That's when things first got shady for Saweetie, and the music world started side-eyeing the moves being made. The drama kicked off when it was announced that Saweetie was supposed to be featured on the remix of FNF with Glorilla and JT. The track was hyped to be the anthem of the summer, and Saweetie had already recorded her verse, locked it in, and was ready to go. Only thing left was to shoot the music video with the rest of the girls. Easy, right? Wrong. Out of nowhere, Saweetie got cut from the song. Just like that. No heads up, no public reason, no warning, just gone. And what made it even messier was that she was the only one removed. There was no known beef with Glorilla or the team, so the sudden switch-up had everybody confused. Industry folks and fans were scrambling to figure out what went down behind the scenes. And then, right when the whispers were getting loud, Glorilla dropped a bombshell. Cardi B was joining her on the remix to Tomorrow 2. And suddenly, everything started to click into place. People started speculating that Saweetie getting cut from FNF might have had something to do with Cardi sliding in on the other track. The timing was just too perfect, or too shady, depending on how you look at it. And let's be real, Cardi has made bold moves before when it comes to people connected to Offset. If she had issues with Saweetie behind the scenes, this could have been another silent power play. Fans wasted no time connecting the dots, and they were quick to call out what looked like a classic case of behind-the-scenes payback. People started speculating that Cardi B might have flexed her power to get Saweetie blackballed, not just from the FNF remix, but from future collabs too. And once folks pieced it together, the theories took off. One fan said it straight up. So the reason Saweetie got removed from the FNF remix is because she messed with Offset and Cardi found out. So Cardi told Glorilla she wouldn't do the collab unless Saweetie's verse was dropped. Whew, that's a serious accusation. And it didn't stop there. Another person chimed in with, "Oh, so that's why Cardi made Glorilla take Saweetie off the remix. And in return, she gave her a free feature? Whole bag blocking energy." Fans were dragging Cardi on socials, saying she was moving strategic and making sure certain women didn't get to shine once they crossed her. Meanwhile, Cardi was tweeting subs, and they weren't hard to decode either. She said, "They be going for anything, but I can't go for none of that." That had people convinced she was calling out Offset and Quavo for allegedly getting too friendly with the same women and making it clear that she wasn't the one to play with. And then came the icing on the cake. Quavo and Takeoff popped up on Drink Champs, and when they were asked to pick between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, they chose Nicki. No hesitation. Host Nore definitely knew what he was doing with that question. He was straight up stirring the pot. Considering the heavy history between Cardi and Nicki and all the past tension, that moment was bound to spark even more drama. That's just Drink Champs for you. Always diving headfirst into the drama, and nobody was surprised when they brought up the tension between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. But let's be real, Quavo was already throwing shade heavy when he name-dropped Nicki. Everybody knows Nicki and the Migos crew haven't exactly been besties, so him acting like everything was all love? Yeah, that was clearly a move meant to poke at Cardi. It wasn't subtle either, especially considering Nicki had just taken shots at him days before. She clapped back on social media saying something like, "Quavo, was it worth it? Dummy. No career. Takeoff gone. Remember when you told me you were the Beyoncé of the group? I laughed so hard in silence. Anyway, pay Offset his alimony, Barney B. Now that was a straight up roast. No filters, no holding back. But let's bring it back to Saweetie and Cardi for a second. Saweetie might look like she's just out here sipping tea and minding her business, but fans have been saying for a while, her shady moves are slick and quiet. She plays it low-key, so people don't clock it right away, but the shade, it's there if you're paying attention. That fight night photo she posted wasn't the first time people accused her of sneak dissing Cardi. Saweetie's kind of shady isn't loud or messy. It's sneaky and smooth, and that's why it hits different. She plays the unbothered queen role so well that folks don't catch her slipping until the timeline's already lit up. When you're that deep in the middle of a feud between two of the biggest women in rap, you can't play both sides and pretend to be neutral. One moment that had the internet on full fire was when unedited Getty images of Cardi B at the Vanity Fair Oscars party went viral. And not for the reasons she hoped. Fans were quick to call out how different she looked compared to her usual Instagram posts, accusing her of over-editing and throwing out words like fraud and filtered queen. The backlash was instant and brutal. Then, like clockwork, Nicki Minaj jumped in with a shady tweet that simply said, "Clock back TV." And trust, fans didn't need a translator for that one. It was read loud and clear as a dig at Cardi, while she was already being dragged left and right across the timeline. And if that wasn't enough, Nicki followed it up with another shot. Photoshop them bars. Ouch! The shade was flowing heavy and direct. But it didn't stop there. Saweetie slid in with her own slick move and made the whole moment even messier. She knew exactly what was going on and didn't waste the chance to get her jab in too. She posted her own set of Getty images and made sure her caption hit hard. She don't need no edits. Yep, direct, bold, and perfectly timed. Let's be real. Saweetie didn't just post those pics for fun. She dropped them right when Cardi was already under fire for her appearance. And that caption? It was a precision hit. She knew exactly what she was doing, and fans caught it instantly. Social media lit up, with people calling her the head barb for real. Comments were flying like, messing with someone's man and still clowning them with your beauty? Savage energy. And yes, Cardi definitely saw the sub. You know she doesn't miss anything when it comes to shade being thrown her way. Cardi definitely caught that shade loud and clear, and she didn't hold back. She hopped on Twitter with a slick message. I'm not as mean as I could be, and I want people to be more grateful for that. That alone had folks buzzing. But with Saweetie clowning her right in the middle of all this heat with Nicki Minaj, yeah, it looks like whatever chill Cardi had left towards Saweetie is officially gone. And here's where things really take a turn. Now Cardi's allegedly saying that she has actual tapes of Saweetie and Offset in bed. And what's worse, these videos were supposedly shared with her by Offset back when they were still together. If true, that's messy on a whole new level. Word is, Cardi's daring either one of them, Offset or Saweetie, to try her one more time and see if she won't leak those videos as her ultimate revenge. And let's be honest, if you know Cardi, you know she doesn't bluff. If she feels disrespected and pushed to the edge, she might just air it all out to get her lick back. It's wild to think that all of this started over some album sales shade. What started as a petty little jab has turned into a straight-up war involving receipts, secrets, shady posts, music industry politics, and full-blown tension with Nicki Minaj wrapped in it too. Saweetie threw her slick subs. Cardi fired back with the threat of receipts. And Offset? Per usual, he's right in the middle. Messy, silent, and letting the drama swirl around him like he ain't got a care in the world. This ain't just about music anymore. This is careers, reputations, and messy personal lives all getting aired out like laundry in the middle of Times Square. And the fans? They are glued to every post, every tweet, every sneaky just waiting for the next bomb to drop. It's a front row seat to chaos, and no one's blinking. With Cardi allegedly sitting on tapes that could flip the entire situation upside down, whew, the tea is beyond hot. It's straight up nuclear. And let's be real, this drama has crossed every line. At this point, it's not even about shade anymore. It's a full-blown collision between personal betrayal and industry power plays. Nobody's safe now. Not Saweetie, not Offset, not Quavo, not Nicki, not even Cardi herself. They're all deep in this twisted back and forth where loyalty gets tested, secrets get leaked, and the stakes couldn't be higher. And trust, fans are eating it up like it's the finale of a reality show that never ends. One thing's for sure, two things for certain. This story is far from over. Every move from here on out could be the next viral moment, the next exposed truth, or the next reason somebody disappears from the spotlight for good. So buckle up, Buttercup, because if you thought things were messy now, just wait. You ain't seen nothing yet. Drop a dozen comments below, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tap in to see what scandal's lighting up our radar next. You don't want to miss what's coming next?